hat mein Hut. Und hat nicht 3 Ecken, dann ist es nicht mein Hut.
The strange, the bizarre, the unexpected. These are the kinds of subjects a man named Robert L. Ripley challenged us to
believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Believe it or not, you.
Wally, believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
Believe it!
You're a loony.
The shortest commercial flight in the world lasts just 57 seconds. The Loganair flight between the 2 Scottish islands of Westray and Papa Westray lasts just 57 seconds. At a distance of 1.7 miles, it's the shortest commercial flight in the world. However, because the trip is made via one of 2 8-seater planes, the exact time of the journey could take a bit longer if there are strong winds. Loganair claims it takes less than a minute in favorable winds. Believe it or not. Shakespeare's parents and children were likely illiterate. William Shakespeare remains one of the most famous playwrights and poets of all time, and while the Baird attended grammar school to master reading, writing, and Latin, it's believed that his parents and children were almost entirely illiterate. The ability to read and write wasn't necessary during the Elizabethan era, and although Shakespeare's father, John, may have had a basic level of literacy, he signed his name with a mark instead of his full name. His daughters, Susanna and Judith, are thought to be totally illiterate, although Susanna could write her signature. Believe it or not. If you tried a new variety of apple every day, it would take more than 20 years to try them all. If you're the kind of person who appreciates variety and would love to taste test a new type of apple every day of the week, then you're in for decades-long endeavor. It would take you more than 20 years to try each of the 7,500 varieties of apples in the world. Believe it or not. The remains of the inventor of the Pringles can are in a Pringles can. Frederick Bauer was the man responsible for creating the iconic Pringles can. That's why, when he passed away in 2008, his children honored his wishes to be laid to rest in one. When my dad first raised the burial idea in the 1980s, I chuckled about it, Bear's oldest son told the Times. But it turned out Bear was serious. So, after his death, his children stopped by to buy a can of Pringles while heading to the funeral. His son recalled, "My siblings and I briefly debated what flavor to use, but I said, look, we need to use the original." Believe it or not. Cotton candy was invented by a dentist. Cotton candy isn't exactly great for your teeth, and that's why it may surprise you to learn that the machine that makes this sweet treat was invented by a dentist named William Morrison. Though he looked after people's teeth for a living, in 1897 he also worked alongside confectioner John C. Wharton to create a cotton candy machine, according to National Geographic. Believe it or not. For sale, parachute. Only used once, never opened. I have learned so much from my mistakes that I'm thinking of making a few more. I think my neighbor is stalking me as she's been Googling my name on her computer. I saw it through my telescope last night. I wasn't originally going to get a brain transplant, but then I changed my mind. I am so poor, I can't even pay attention. I saw a sign that said, "Watch for children," and I thought, that sounds like a fair trade. When I was a kid, my parents moved a lot, but I always found them. My wife's cooking is so bad, the flies fix our screens. I tell you, my whole life, all I've known is rejection. When I was a kid, my yo-yo, it never came back. I was so poor, my rich aunt died. And her will, I owed her $20. I'll tell you, my kid, he drives me nuts. For 3 years now, he goes to a private school. He won't even tell me where it is. I was poor. Once on my birthday, my old man, he showed me a picture of a cake. I sat there all day trying to blow out the candles. When someone asks you a penny for your thoughts and you put 2 cents in, what happens to the other penny? The caterpillar does all the work, but the butterfly gets all the publicity. Isn't it a bit unnerving that doctors call what they do a practice? Dog previews. The big itch. Don't even think of scratching. This is it, Maurice. I warned you to keep your hands off of me. Ironically, Barnum's and Bailey's respective kids, Sid and Marty, both ran away one night to join corporate America. Watch it, Randy. She's on your case. Unfocused group. Hold it right there, stranger. We got us a hat check law in this town, so just take it off nice and slow. And so, as you enter the adult phase of your life, you will thank God that these past 17 years of being stuck in the ground and unable to move are finally over. Congratulations, Cicada of 2024. Now, this is a typical dwelling of a species that... Hey! All right! I think we even caught a little fellow at home. We're here, Eric. Antarctica, bottom of the world. And please let Mom, Dad, Rex, Ginger, Tucker, me, and all the rest of the family see color. An ark! An ark, you fool! Mr. Amesworth, calling Mr. Amesworth. If you're within the sound of my voice, Mr. Amesworth, please give us some kind of sign. A 1 and a 2. Oh, not much. Just about to dispel the old bark worse than bite myth. What should I do with these spare parts? Goldfish little brothers. Cindy, your blind date's here, and it's one of those kind with the eyes bugged way out. Unfriending, the early years. Ever since I changed Siri to a male, he's been forgetting birthdays and anniversaries. Her answer off by miles, Sheila's cow sense, was always the target of ridicule. Life on Cloud 8. You know, Vince, this really isn't so bad, but the folks up there sure seem to live it up. One day, Irwin knew he was just going to have to push that big button. February 22nd, 1946. Botanists create the first artificial flower. How cute, Earl. The kids have built a little fort in the backyard. Bachelor number 3. Who would you rather swallow? Mickey Mouse, Speedy Gonzales, or Rocky the Flying Squirrel? And why? Hey, look at Red Bear. Wait, that's not real. For heaven's sakes, why don't you just return the book and pay the overdue fine? I love this app that shows what you look like as an old person. It's called a camera. Elevator out of order. We understand your concern, ma'am, but this just isn't enough for us to go on. Now, you find the other half of your husband, and then we've got a case. Mr. Cummings, this is Frank Dunham in production. We got some problems, Mr. Cummings. Machine number 5 has jammed. Several large spools have gone off track. The generator's blown, and well, everything seems to be, you know what. Cummings, Haywire, and Supplies. Maybe a limbo party wasn't our best idea. Hidden image from Apollo 11. McDonald's? And that concludes another Opa's Corner.
Mein Hut, der hat 3 Ecken. 3 Ecken hat mein Hut. Und hat nicht 3 Ecken, dann ist es nicht mein Hut.
Opa's Corner is now available on my own YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe.